So, we said that we were back last time. Actually, I don't even think I posted the most recent
Oh
episode yet.
yeah, yeah. I don't
You,
think I don't think I've reviewed.
yeah, you gotta review it. Anyway, that's fine, regardless of if this goes up like before that one or after. Um, because we were busy, and
Small
the
hiatus.
aspirations, like another one, the aspirations of going back to weekly were
Ambitious,
unfounded. Yeah, they were ambitious. We didn't realize. Well, I guess we should have realized that the getting back to school time was gonna be busy.
right?
Uh, yeah, but now
We're so
now
back.
now it's real. We're so back.
We're so
The real is,
back.
and yeah. So we're in school. I'm getting cooked. I got like 400 pages of reading a week or
Oh my
something like that.
gosh, that's real. How much of that are
Don't
you actually doing?
don't be in the social science. Half maybe. I can do maybe
Jeez,
half. Like
you're reading 200 pages a week, bro.
that's normal though.
What?
I've
What?
been doing that. Been
What?
doing that.
Like, how often are you
Yeah.
just like sitting reading?
Oh, that's like my main homework is reading.
Really?
I mean, because aside from Japanese, so I'm thinking Japanese right now. Um, I have almost no homework except for reading, and then like two or three assignments per class. And like there's no assignments on the reading itself. It's just like you have to do the reading to participate in class.
Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have some
it's
reading right now, but I don't really do it. I low-key need to start doing it though because I have midterms coming up. But it's a little jarring because coming from all my STEM classes where it's no reading and just assignments, and then all of a sudden I have a class that's assigning like 80 pages a week. It's like whoa, whoa, chill on that. I'm not gonna
yeah.
do that. But I low-key should because I used to enjoy reading, but I feel like I've really fallen off in college.
It's so different though. It's so different.
Academic reading and enjoyable reading are not the same thing. It's very
Not
true.
the same thing at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, I do have a topic I want to talk about. We're super late to the game because this was a thing that was around on the internet like over the summer even. But I don't know if you've seen it, but people would be asked, "What are the four major cities in America?"
Oh, I have seen this.
You saw those,
I have seen this.
and
I feel like I have a solid
just
opinion here.
you have a solid opinion. Okay, because I think the top three are super clear. The top three is kind of uncontested. I think most people are in agreement, although I did see some people putting some interesting picks on there. But in my opinion, New York, LA, and Chicago have to be top three easily. I don't know how you feel about that.
Um, um, um.
What?
I mean, I think I think there's just as much validity to SF as LA. I mean, LA. Here's my thing. SF is top four. I'm not accepting that it's
Okay, but I
not
was
top
saying
four.
top three. I was saying
I
top
know
three.
you're saying top three, but like low key, I think SF could be top three.
You want SF in top three. Who's out of top three?
Maybe LA.
Really?
It's tricky though. It's tricky because LA is so American. You know,
It's so big.
it's so big and it's so American. It's very America. You know, it's Hollywood. It's like
Mm.
music. It's like chill in some ways like that. But I just think that like I don't know, being here in SF or like adjacent, like there's just so much happening here. Like it's the tech center of the world. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge, huge thing. Like almost all like major technological development is coming out of this area. To
Yeah.
me, that feels like it has to put it extremely high on the list. You know what I mean? Like New York is finance, SF is tech, and they're the best in tech in the world by far. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's like certainly the economic value has to place it extremely high in this tier system.
Yeah, I
Do you
know
not agree?
it's hard. Oh, I feel like we have to like think about like what are we ranking here? Because when most people are ranking and they're I wouldn't even say I don't think that most Americans have been to like all four of the ones who should be on there or like a good enough sample size to really say. I don't think I've been to enough either. I've never been to LA.
I've
I
been
can't
all
really speak to that.
four as a technicality. I've only
You've been all four, including SF, right? Yeah.
yeah yeah exactly including SF. I've been to those four. I mean, what else is even in contention? Let's start there. What else are even theoretical contenders?
DC.
All right, that's ridiculous, right? Surely.
That's not ridiculous. Okay, DC. What about Texas? You got Dallas, Austin,
Okay, that's absurd. We can cross
Florida.
those off the list. Yeah,
Florida's got
Miami.
Miami.
Miami, I guess.
It really depends. Like, are we thinking
Okay,
about it in terms of like cultural impact or
right.
like in
Okay.
terms of a
That's a
city
good
that you
that's a
would want to live in, you
distinction,
know?
right? I mean, I think like in terms of like you said with LA being very like America core, if you will. Um, I feel like that's where like something like Miami is also very like American at heart.
Mhm.
Um, so like if you're purely judging off of that, sure. And like I feel like Miami is. I would be more willing to say Miami than like probably most other cities. Like Seattle, certainly not, right?
No, Seattle's not on there.
Seattle, certainly not.
Seattle's not on there.
Boston, certainly not. Probably,
Probably
you know,
not, yeah.
Boston's just pretty small.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Boston's what Boston has going for is academics, I guess. Uh,
Okay, yeah, that's true. It's a big college town. Yeah.
but like aside from that, not very much. I love Boston. It's better than New York, which is a whole other point of
It's a
contention.
terrible
But
take.
um,
We can talk a little bit about that after.
but aside from that fact, like I don't. I even with my bias towards Boston, I can't put it on the list. Like Chicago, as a Chicago resident, I guess what's Chicago's sell here?
Here's the thing. I think it's really hard to rank four cities in like a way that makes sense like geographically like representing all the US, right? And so obviously the biggest cities are on the coasts. I genuinely and just in terms of population size, it is third. It has, you know, hella sports teams. It has a lot of cultural relevance from, you know, uh, inventing techno to like more recently like drill and a lot of rap has come out of it.
Right.
Um, and I mean Kanye is from here. Like it does have a lot of cultural
The
relevance in
Pope.
that sense. And but I do think the Pope too. That's so. Yeah, anyway, I think it could be contested for third. I don't think it has to be third. I would put New York and LA first just based on pure like everyone knows New York and LA like across the world. Like, everyone knows
Like
about them.
personally, my levels, if I'm being fully transparent here,
Yeah. Be honest. Be
I'm
honest.
going New York. Jeez. Like, okay, if we're going like I said, if we're really incorporating like the cultural Americanness, then I go New York, LA, then SF, then Chicago. If
Mhm.
I'm going in terms of like value to the world, I'm going New York, SF, LA, Chicago. I feel like I can't understate like to me being here, like you see the production that comes out of SF, like it's everything. Like all the startups. Like everyone wants to be here. Like it's
Right.
like you know, I personally know many people who have dropped out of school here to do startups. Like that's the thing. That's what happens here. And like
Yeah.
that's like the whole like modern revolution of like businesses of tech. Like it all is like spawned from here and like the culture here. And so like for me, it just feels like that has to place it like extremely high in this. system.
Right. Yeah,
But I
it's
think that
crazy.
those four though are like in my head pretty cemented. Uh,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I'm never putting Miami over Chicago, and I think Miami's probably your best other contender. Um,
Yeah.
like
Because yeah, if we're being honest,
Texas is ridiculous.
right. I think because I was following like this debate for a while, so I kind of was like getting a little gauge on like what different people thought, and like a lot of people were trying to be geographically accurate and like pick like so we have New York for the East Coast, LA for
I
the
see.
West Coast, Chicago for the Midwest, and then
And
for
then
the
they go
South
Texas
you have to pick one, and
or
it's in
Miami.
Texas because
Yeah,
based on population.
I see.
But I
Yeah,
agree. I do think we have to think about it more in terms of actual value and just how good or cool of a city it is. And
right. Which SF
I've only been
clears.
to Austin, but Austin did not give me a good
It was
impression
rolled.
of
It was rolled.
Texas cities. It was rolled. It was, there are cool parts of it. I did not enjoy Austin though. Yeah,
Yeah,
in general.
yeah. No, I mean I've heard
SF,
okay things.
I don't know if I would say SF is like awesome.
All right, SF's lit, bro.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's dope. It's dope. And here's the thing that people don't like sleep on with SF too is like people don't realize that like it's not just SF, it's the Bay. You know what I mean? Like the Bay is like
Okay.
the most
So you
interesting
get
metro
Oakland too.
area. Okay, we get Berkeley, which has a
Most
major
interesting
institution.
metro area
We
is
get Palo
crazy.
Alto. We get San Jose. Like these are all towns that have produced a lot. If you go and you look at the companies that are produced out of each of these towns, like you're gonna see companies like huge name companies that you know. Any of these towns, look at any town in the Bay Area, and you will see a huge name company that you know that came out of that town or is still headquartered in that town. Like it's insane. I mean, like I go down the street from me, literally in a half mile, I can get to Tesla HQ. I can get to uh, uh, maybe Lockheed Martin HQ, one of the major Lockheed Martin offices. I can get to Rivian. I can get to HP. Like, it's insane. It's genuinely insane. So, like, and that's just Palo Alto. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like the Bay on a map is really geographically interesting. There's no other place like it. Like, it's an hour and a half commute in the U.S. on a train you can take from one city to another city, and then you can loop an hour and a half around the other side of the Bay back to SF. Like that doesn't exist anywhere else in the U.S.
All right, I'm gonna pause your SF glaze while I go let my girlfriend.
Okay.
I'm back.
But
Anyway, San Francisco.
point being, SF is good.
I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced.
It's great.
Personally, as someone who's been there like 3 times, twice was on a layover. I think I have a
So
great,
those
I have
don't
a great
count.
gauge of the
Those don't
city.
count.
I think I have a great gauge of the city, how it's laid out, what you can do there. There's not that much. I saw the
That's
Golden Gate
insane.
Bridge. I
That's
went to
insane.
In-N-Out.
That's genuinely insane.
What am I supposed to do?
That's genuinely insane. That's genuinely insane. What can you do in goddamn Chicago? Chicago.
Okay.
Go see the Bean. Go see the Bean. Maybe swim in the lake. For us, you can swim in the ocean. And you can go see the bridge. And you can go see Financial District. And you can go see the beach. You can go see Golden Gate Park, the largest park in any U.S. city. You can go see really anything you want. And like I said, then you can go explore the metro area, which is huge. The lake is tough, but it's one lakefront path.
The only thing that SF has over Chicago is the weather. The weather is better.
The hills, the weather, the mountains nearby, the breadth of towns that you can go to quickly. I mean,
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say where do we draw the line between SF and then like the area around it. Then it's hard to say because the Bay is very different than saying SF.
It's true.
Or maybe it's the same. I don't know.
Well, it's true. It depends on whether we're willing to include that in the debate. But I think that the Bay is like a draw factor of SF. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
know what you mean. And before we keep arguing about this, I would for my fourth, if we're talking like generally, I would put SF as my fourth. Otherwise,
why do you sound hesitant on
uh,
that?
well, because I think otherwise, if we're talking about, um, I don't know, in some ways, I want to put DC too, but I think SF like would generally
DC
be
hardly
the
counts as a
fourth.
city, for being real.
It depends. It depends what you count as a city. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, to me,
Like
the
their
list
metro
is
is really
clear.
nice.
Right, their metro is nice, but that's not like city. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, to me, that just doesn't even really qualify as a city.
I get. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like a
I guess
nice
if you're
extended
like, oh,
suburban
like,
area with political
is
things.
there a downtown? Like, it's hard to say there's a downtown when there's no tall buildings because of the law they passed with the
Right.
banners.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably it's a great place, but great city. I just don't know. Yeah.
You're not a
I
city
mean,
person to begin.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
But I feel like I'm happy with that list. You know, the order can be debated,
yeah,
but I'm happy with that list.
yeah. I think that's the normal list. I think most people come up with, and I think it's probably the correct list. Although we are putting two in California, which is like, but California's
Biggest economy,
a big part of our country.
biggest economy, biggest state. So
It's true. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if that was in yeah, no, that's huge. So I think that's fair enough. Like SoCal, NorCal, pretty different.
All right, now tell me why Boston is better than New York City. Tell me that.
All right. I mean, I could
'Cause
talk
I
all day
just
about this subject. We've
completely
had this debate
disagree.
many times
We
over
have.
the years.
It basically just boils down to like
Here's the
you don't like cities.
no. Hear me out. Hear me out. Here's the thing. So like, if we're gonna say like, what are the it does boil down to like my interests, right? Like I understand the draw of New York if it's like I'm trying to like eat at a million bougie restaurants and I want to like go to the club. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm young, I want to go to the club and I want to eat at restaurants and I want to like be around a bunch of other young people. Like I get it. That's fair. Uh for me personally, if we're just talking about like the cities themselves, it's like New York's pretty ugly in my opinion.
Okay.
That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
So like if I'm going off aesthetics and I'm comparing New York to something like SF, cooked. It's not even close. SF is gorgeous. New York is ugly. Then, if I'm comparing to Boston, it's like you know, Boston's charm is that it's like quaint and like nice and more walkable. I don't know about more walkable. Maybe not that, but
I know it's
it's
just
just
I
like
mean
a
it's smaller.
charming, quaint little city. I feel more comfortable in Boston. In New York, I feel like more on edge. Uh, it's just like too hustling, too bustling. People are mad. It's kind of dirty. Um,
Yeah.
it's just like I'm not like very comfortable in New York. It's like cool. There's big buildings, but I can go see big buildings in any other major American city. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that's not a huge draw to me. So it's kind of about like the vibe of the city. Like I like cities based on the vibe. And so like that's why I'm a fan of SF. Because SF's vibe is like cool. It's like hilly, different, kind of hippie, chill, good weather, uh, outdoorsy. It's just pretty.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for me, the aesthetics. And I think Boston's a lot prettier than New York. And then it also has New England charm, which I'm a huge fan of, like the character in New England towns.
Mhm.
That's my problem with places like Palo Alto. I think they have very little character.
Yeah.
But Boston, tons of character. Like the little townhouses are cute. You can walk on like the Esplanade or whatever it's called. You can like go to North End if you want like a nice restaurant chill experience. Um, You can be on the Charles. Like if you want big buildings, like they have that too, and it's cool and pretty. Um, like you can get like little cobbled streets. Like the vibe is just very good in Boston for me. That's the thing. And like for me, the vibe in New York is just like big, stark, colder, like angry, hustling. That's the vibe that I get from New York, and I don't really dig it.
I mean, I don't hate Boston. I like Boston. I just think it's just not. It doesn't come close to what I would consider a city, or like it doesn't give me the same feeling that any other big city has in terms of uh, being a place where you go where stuff's happening. There's not much happening in Boston. I mean, maybe I mean I guess there kind of is, but it doesn't give off that vibe. Unlike New York, uh, Chicago, even SF, I will agree does sort of have that vibe where you're like, there's a lot of people here. They're all doing their days. Also, a lot of tourists. You can tell a lot of foreign tourists as well who are here to see the city and see the stuff that they've heard about.
Right, but that's what I think is like good about Boston. You know what I mean? Like it's like a
Mm.
city, but like it's not like an aggressive, busy city. It's like a calming, relaxing city experience that I don't find in other cities, which is like a unique and nice thing. And then like my issue once again with New York is I just don't think it has anything going for it relative to the other big cities. Like
That's crazy.
I would rather be in Chicago. I would rather be in SF. So like what am I getting out of New York? Just very little. And like I said, this is a huge factor in this is I'm not interested in like going out all the time and being super social and
I don't think you
like
have to go out all the time in New York.
these things. Like I think that's the pull to New York. Like what else do I do in New York? What else do I do?
I think it's just it is what every other big city like on planet Earth is, you know?
But like other big cities have if I'm going to Tokyo, it's like clean, more
Okay.
aesthetic, uh like good transportation, clean
Yeah.
transportation. Like those are the draws of like that's a big city that's like appealing because it's like it has those factors to me. But like once again, like New York is just big, overbearing, like dirty. And
Yeah.
I just don't when I go to New York, I just don't like really enjoy my time there. I'm walking around, I'm just like, geez, Louise, bro. It's like there's so many people. It's like so many people selling things on the streets. It's
Hmm.
hectic and chaotic. It's nasty. It smells bad. Like, what am I
Yeah.
doing here? Like, and the only aesthetic is like huge buildings. It's the only aesthetic. Like
Yeah.
once again, at least if I'm in USF, I see a park, I see the bay. Like that's chill. If I'm in Boston, I
Yeah.
get to see quaint townhouses, charm, New England charm. But like in New York, it's just big buildings that are like
Yeah.
suffocating.
I'm gonna glaze New York a little bit. I think you compare it to Tokyo. Tokyo, to me, is great. I like Tokyo. Uh, I don't really like the central parts as much as the less or the smaller neighborhoods because it's just central parts are overrun with tourists now. But like Shibuya and Ginza, and also I
Right,
don't like shopping that much.
right,
Or I mean, I'm okay with shopping, but shopping at like big department stores or whatever, I'm not interested in at all, really.
right.
Uh, and it feels like an amusement park. Like you say, it's really clean. Like yeah, it's really clean. It's like nice to be in, but I think the draw from New York, and this is, I guess, just not. I mean, it's not really my thing either, but it's definitely not your thing. It just feels like a place where everyone there is there to do something interesting or do something that they really want to do, whether that be like make a lot of money or whether that be uh, be on Broadway or uh, you know, be an artist. There's a big there's a lot of people doing that. And I agree, the lack of green space in New York is very frightening, and I probably wouldn't live there. But I do think in the U.S. it's probably the most exciting and most big city out of any big city we have because realistically, uh, the transit in other cities is nowhere near New York's. Even though New York's subway is disgusting, and yeah, this whole city smells really bad. They gotta fix that. Um,
Okay,
they
okay.
really do.
I have a
It's
question.
pretty
I have a
bad.
question. I have a question.
Yeah,
Would you live in Boston?
yeah. I live in Boston.
All right. So
I
I
just
feel
think
like we
I don't
kind
hate
of
Boston.
I feel like we kind of have points of agreement here. We're just approaching this from a different like like debate, right? Like you are saying you wouldn't live in New York, you would live in Boston.
I'd
That's
prefer to go to
kind
New
of
York on a day trip.
okay. Okay, but okay, interesting. I mean, I would prefer Boston for both.
I
Um,
know.
but like I think that is kind of like my appeal of Boston is it's a more like livable, chill place. Um, like once again, like when we're going to like biggest four representative U.S. cities, like I'm putting New York on there. I'm not putting Boston on there.
Hmm.
Like I get it, but it's like when it comes to my preference, that's when I'm going Boston.
I guess
So
what's
it's
your
like
ideal living situation? Like, have you been anywhere that really is like, yeah, this is the kind of spot I'd want to live in?
okay, so actually the place that I like really want to try living, but I've actually never visited, is Bergen, Norway.
Bergen.
Um, so
What
like,
speaks to you?
so I'll tell you what speaks to me. Basically, so like, I think I like the fact that it's like a very, very medium-sized place. So the population's like 300,000. So like, what
Hmm.
that tells me is it's like there's gonna be things to do. There's gonna be restaurants. There's gonna be like different neighborhoods. There's gonna be a downtown. And like I know these things about Bergen. Like this is not speculation. Um,
Right.
but like it's like it's a real place. It's not like a small town. But I don't need the city vibe of big buildings. They don't have that. Um, it's very close to beautiful nature. I love that. That's like honestly one of the biggest factors for me.
Yeah.
The thing is like I used to think that my only priority was nature, which like I think it's still my biggest priority. But I do think if I was just to move to like Seward, Alaska, like right now in my life, like if I was like married and later in my life, then like honestly like maybe something like that could be enjoyable. But like while I'm young, like I do value like social connection, like going out, doing things, having friends, um, etc. And so like I want to be in a place that has like it's a little bit happening, but I don't want to be in a place that's like really, in my opinion, overbearing, like New York. So like that's why Boston's a little bit more appealing for me.
Hmm.
But like the ideal thing would be, yeah, I think something like Bergen, where it's 300,000 people. Like to me, that feels like a very appealing size. Uh, and uh, yeah, yeah. To me, that's basically the ideal. Is like medium size, things to do, but not crazy. Still very chill, quaint, beautiful nature. That sounds great to me. But even like I'm obviously a Norway, glazer, if you will. Like even Oslo,
It's
I,
true.
I want to say Oslo
If
is
they
like,
know, if they've
uh,
listened to the other episodes, they know.
I want to say Oslo is like almost a million. Yeah,
Mm.
725, uh, in the municipality, and then 1.5 million in the metro area. Um, like even that, like still like I would live like Oslo outskirts where it's like, maybe 25-minute commute and to go to a
Right.
cool downtown. And, like Oslo downtown is like pretty city, if you will.
Right.
but then like once again the outskirts back up into nature, and so yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the vibe that I like personally. So you can see why New
Yeah.
York is probably not as optimal for me. And then like the reason that I find somewhere like SF acceptable, SF has other problems. I think SF's a little bit like suffocating with regard to the people. It's just very like it's extremely like sweaty. All your conversations revolve around your career plans and et cetera, et cetera. And maybe it makes me somewhat of a bum to not like that. But, I kind of just like, what I think is really cool about SF is that it's surrounded by great nature and beauty. It's a really beautiful place. And, you can go not that far to get to mountains and ocean and beach. And that's really cool. And it feels like what frustrates me is that so much of the population is so just like, I want to focus on my startup that they don't even value those things. And that to me is frustrating because it's like, all right, so we could have put these people in Las Vegas. Like, let's have the people who value the nature here in the nature.
Right.
Because that's what I think the strength of SF is that it's like a somewhat nature integrated city as far as the US goes. Which to me is great. But yeah.
I mean, that must have like an impact though. I mean,
It
surely
does. I mean, like
SF wouldn't be. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be the tech hub it is without the.
It does.
Just
There's just appeal to being here in the first place
yeah.
because it's beautiful and like nice weather and like it's just an
The
appealing
weather
place
is
to
good.
be.
I'll admit.
And you do see it still. Like you go outside, there's gonna be a lot of people on their expensive road bikes, and if you're in Golden Gate Park, you'll see tons of people biking, walking. It's an outdoorsy place, but there still is like this just the overwhelming culture, and that's like even why people I know who have left. Like I know someone who dropped out sophomore year to do a startup, and he was in SF for 2 years, and then he left to go to New York actually, because he said that like it almost felt just like a small suffocating community of like he shows up to every event or party and it's like the same people just talking about their startups, and
Yeah.
he wanted to just be somewhere bigger and more individual, if you will, where he could just be in New York and going out and not worrying about those things and having like a nice fun young adult life without just constantly being exposed to one type of person, which tends to be, at least if you're in those circles in SF, I think that's what happens. There are like very, the origins of the Bay Area are like very hippie and not like that. So like, and there are definitely still remnants of that, but the circles are pretty mutually exclusive. So if you're in like the job circle, which going to Stanford and things like that, you kind of get automatically drawn to. Like I said, it's a bit mutually exclusive, and so those are the circles that you're in, and I think that a lot of people tend to feel a little bit overwhelmed by that.
Yeah. So what's your favorite city that you've been to?
Jeez, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Wow. I think.
Or give like a top three or something. Or top four, because we did top four before.
It's true. Jeez. I think, as the resident Norway glazer, I have to put. I really did not spend much time in Oslo, but I might put Oslo on there just as my Norway representation. I've also been to Trondheim, but I spent even less time in Trondheim, and Trondheim's pretty small. I just didn't get really a good picture of Trondheim, so I can't really give it like Oslo. At least I feel like I got the gist of it. I'll put that on there because, like I said, it's outdoorsy. I really like Norwegian people. I really like Norwegian culture.
Yeah.
And so it's outdoorsy. It's somewhat quaint as far as cities go. Um, I like that, so I'll put that on there.
Mhm.
Um, and in terms of broad cities, that's basically, jeez. I've been to, in Japan, I've been to many small towns in terms of real cities. I've only been to Tokyo and Kyoto. Um, it depends. I think like Kyoto was like a little bit too touristy, probably. Eh, yeah, if you're at the shrines and things, it's very touristy. But like if you're just like chilling on the river, it does seem pretty chill. Uh, and like it's a little bit like in the hills and things. Um, Tokyo, there was so much going on, and it depends on like what you're discussing as Tokyo. Like you
We've
said,
also
like I think
been,
some
let's say
neighborhoods.
it's separate Tokyo, Yokohama at least.
Right. I thought Yokohama was very nice. Um, I did like Yokohama a lot. Huh. Jeez.
I was stumped.
I'm really stumped. I think I'll leave my Japan pick for last. But I think
Mhm.
I'll include a Japan pick just because it is unique with regard to like good transportation, clean, like different culture. Like, I'll put it
Yeah.
on my list, especially because I haven't been to that many international cities. Unfortunately, I think Nairobi is probably not getting a spot on this list. Um, Nairobi's like super interesting, but like favorite, I think is just probably not. It was just too hectic for me and extremely hectic and a little bit like, especially as a foreigner who stands out a lot, and it's very very divided, which I honestly struggled with a little bit. Like you're just
Right.
exposed to so much like extreme poverty, and then you see like really wealthy areas, and it's just like there was some guilt attached with that, I think. And you're like only
Yeah.
traveling to the wealthy areas on Ubers or whatever. But like
Mm.
that's what's recommended because maybe it's not safe to whatever. And for me, that was just like a little bit restrictive. Uh, but like I said, great place. But I think on my favorite list, unfortunately not. So I think then I just have U.S. cities. I put Boston and SF on there.
Mm.
So Oslo, Boston, SF, and then for Japan, I think it would have to be either Yokohama or Kyoto. Uh, I don't think I can say Tokyo was too much for me. Um, I think in that case, I would have to go. I think I would have to go Kyoto.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
I liked the Kyoto roads. Like they were very just chill streets there. Chill neighborhoods. I liked the
Yeah.
Arashiyama neighborhoods where we were staying while we were there. I really liked the river path. I thought it was just very chill. It's closer to nature than Yokohama
Yeah.
is. Um, yeah, I wish I'd been to like Sapporo or something, or
I don't know.
somewhere south.
I don't know if you
But
could put Sapporo.
but yeah,
I think you would like
that'll be my
Sapporo
list
more
then.
than Tokyo, but I don't think you would have put Sapporo on your favorite cities either.
Well, I don't know. I think I don't have that many like other candidates. You know what I mean? At this point, I'm just going to like the only other places I've experienced to put something that's different on there. You know what I mean? So it's like I have
I
SF, I
guess.
have Boston in the U.S. Those are my U.S. representation. I have one in Europe. That's the only place I've been in Europe. Africa, I have only been to Kenya, and I don't really think I can rank Nairobi on there. And then it comes down to Japan. So the only really other place I've been. So, uh,
Yeah.
so I don't know,
But I still think
but
it's valid, you know? It's still valid.
I feel like it's a decent list. It's a decent
It's not
list.
bad.
And you?
Me, I think I have to go Taipei, uh, Bilbao,
Okay,
trying to think.
I like those picks.
Yeah, Taipei, Bilbao are really nice. I'd go Hangzhou in China,
Okay,
and then or would I go Chen? I'd probably go Hangzhou over Chengdu even. But uh, yeah, doing China is kind of a hack because they have so many goddamn cities. So you have a lot to choose from there. But I think Hangzhou is nicer than Shanghai. It's less busy. More Chinese also. Shanghai's way too like international. It just feels like New York, part
Right.
two or part more like part like 10 because it's
Right.
a little nicer, uh, and cleaner.
Yeah.
Um, but it doesn't smell as bad. But lastly, I probably have to put a U.S. one. I'd probably put Chicago in just because I've been here for a while. I
Represent.
do like it a lot. Um, I think the food's really good. Both like both the more fast type food or more affordable kind of pizza or sandwiches type stuff, and then the higher end stuff is also really good too. Because I mean, just any big city's gonna have a good dining scene. I think Chicago's a really good one.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
So
list.
I think those
Um,
are probably my top four. Yeah, I don't think I'd put and I don't think I put anything in Japan on there. I mean, it's kind of hard because I have like a personal connection to Taipei and just have been there for so long. I've been there a lot, so it's hard for me to put like another Asian city over Taipei or another. Like I feel like Taipei and a lot of Japan is like in my mind it feels similar just in terms of like the culture.
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah.
but Taipei's a little less touristy also than
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that list. I think it's a good list. I need to go to 3 of the cities on that list.
Yeah, pop
So
out to. We also have to come to Chicago for real.
for real, I was in Chicago for 48
You
hours
also
and
like
walking around the city
you
for
didn't get
like
to see
a
anything
few of them.
that was like during the day. I feel like it was like
Yeah,
at
it
least
was
the day that I
exclusively
hung out with
nighttime.
you.
I saw
Night,
I saw the Bean
yeah,
during the day and
right.
like where I was staying in the hotel, but like it was a little bit removed. It was like whatever I was staying a mile south of the Bean, basically a mile or two.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you need that long to explore Chicago, but I mean you could. But um, I do think seeing the river during the day is a
I did see.
necessity. And
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
see the river during the day. Yeah, I saw the lake during the day.
the lake, yeah, but like the river with all the buildings on the
Right. That's
around it.
fair.
That area is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's
fair. Yeah,
that's
we'll have
all
to
I
come
really had
back and
planned.
we'll have to re-rank our cities in like 10 years when we've traveled much more and see how things have
Yeah,
changed.
it's funny. I really just want to go to China again.
Really,
Yeah,
that's the go-to. And how long were you in
yeah, I
China?
think so. Cumulative,
Yeah, cumulative.
like probably around 3 months, 3.5 months.
Okay, fair.
So yeah, I don't know. I think especially from a city perspective, it's really interesting. But also, I need to see more nature. I only got to go to like really like one nature spot in China, and there's so many
No,
that are
China
just
nature
like
cooks.
insane. It
China
looks
nature
insane.
cooks. I gotta tap in.
So I need to go. Yeah, you need to come too.
Yeah, no, I really do. I need to go to. I need to go to more places everywhere. I need to go to more places in Europe, more places in Asia. Uh, Definitely South
Yeah,
America is really big on my list right now too. Uh,
it's hard to choose. It's hard to choose an
it's
area.
hard to choose and it's expensive to travel. Are the limitations here. And it's like
Yeah.
I do. I'm hesitant. One thing that's like a bit sad, I think, is that you know my prospects for like places that I'm going next are like for more long term things, but they're places that I've
Hmm.
already been for the most part. Which is like I hate to be one of the people where it's like I've been back to the same city 10 times, but I haven't tried these other ones. But like sometimes that's just like a matter of convenience. So
But I think you can
unfortunately, that's
like
how.
use that. It's like home base.
Right. It's true. Exactly. If I'm living in Norway, then I'll definitely see a lot more of Europe. And if I'm living in Japan, I'll see a lot more of Asia, certainly.
Yeah, it's just hard. I feel like you really have to pick. It's you can't do all of it unless you're traveling like full
Right,
time.
unless you're a
So if
full-time
you
travel
really want
influencer.
to see, if you want to see one part of the or any part of the world, like
But if Enroute
relatively
takes off,
thoroughly.
then we'll travel the whole world for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we would.
That would be tough.
Even if it doesn't, even if it doesn't, and it's like slightly successful.
Yeah, even the tiniest bit of traction, we're going everywhere.
Yeah, maybe not everywhere, but sometimes, every once in a while, it's like, boom,
Yeah, a little meetup.
yeah, boom, Santiago, you know,
Oof, that would be tough. Jeez, I gotta go to South America.
boom, Patagonia, yeah, Patagonia's fun.
Patagonia would be huge. Peru,
Huge.
I had a friend who went to Peru. It looks sick too. Yeah.
It's funny when traveling. I mean, I guess it makes sense because so we're interested, but traveling just becomes like, where can I go hike?
Bro, it's literally that's almost exclusively what I consider when I go places.
It's
Like,
funny, yeah.
I have other like slight factors. The biggest discrepancy between my preferences and other people's preferences is that other people seem to put a huge amount of value on food. For me, I put very little value on food. Like my underlying assumption is that the food is going to be interesting, good, basically anywhere that I go. Maybe it's an incorrect assumption, but like
Yeah,
I haven't been disappointed yet. Um, Everywhere I go, I've
that'll be
been like,
fair.
I thought the food is good and cool and different. Like people eat it and people love it. Like presumably it's probably pretty good. Is my conclusion. And so, uh, for me, it's just not a huge factor. For me, it's all about nature. Cities are like semi interesting. Like culture can be definitely interesting, but like if I'm just talking about travel, like I just want to be in nature. That's my biggest priority.
I mean, I think if you're traveling for like, I mean, I like cities too, but I think if your main draw is like the city, why just wait till you're like 60?
Right. Exactly. You
Why
can do
not?
that anytime. And also, I just think that the other thing is that cities kind of like, at least in like the first world, cities somewhat converge into each other. All these cities are very international. And
Right.
so it's the same thing with, different font. Like the buildings are a little different. The restaurants serve different food, but it's a high rise. And you know what I mean? But simultaneously, like you could totally make that argument for mountains as well. Like I get it. If someone told me that, like it's literally just mountains, they look a little bit different. But like I would tell them, no, you don't understand. It's a whole different whatever. And I'm sure they could tell me the same thing if they were a huge city enjoyer. But um but for me personally, that's just not where my interests lie. I want
Yeah,
to go outside.
I saw a post from this person on the top of Sky Tree from the observation deck, and I liked it. I think it was a cool experience to go up there.
Right.
I think you agreed also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they said something really poetic, or I forget exactly what it was, but it was clearly they were struck by like how beautiful it was, and the comments were just there were a huge debate about basically nature versus cities. Like people,
Right.
the
No.
nature people were like, how is that? How are
Yeah.
you finding so much? Like that is quite literally like a concrete wasteland that looks like my absolute nightmare.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I thought that Skytree was like very intriguing. Like I still remember like looking out and just being like, "Jeez, like that is insane that there's so many buildings. Like that is
So
genuinely insane that I can look in every direction and all I can see is buildings. Like that's a
yeah,
mind-blowing thing." But it wasn't like, "Wow, this is so beautiful." Like, it was just like,
no, I
"Wow,
agree.
that's crazy."
I'm never, yeah.
Um,
I like going to the top of buildings, but I'm never like, wow, this is
right.
beautiful. Whereas on any mountain, honestly,
Mountains
even like
every
a
single time.
small mountain, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter where
No.
it really
Yeah.
is. It's nature itself is just
Right.
really
Nature
really
is,
nice.
nature is my favorite thing ever. I mean, I love it so much. It's like I don't know. I truly think people just got to get outside. Like it really makes a difference. Even recently, I have days where I've been biking a lot, and it's like I have days where I'm tired. I'm like, geez, like I just want to chill and not go out. And then it's 20 minutes into the ride, I start going up the hill. I look back at the view. I'm like, dang, I'm glad I did this. Like every single time. And it's just like, you know, nature's just so beautiful. I think people got to lock in a little bit. So for me,
Yeah.
that's what I center my travel around. And yeah, it's kind of same
Yeah,
thing with like
it's
one of the things with Japan. I always, it's similar with what I was saying with SF, where it's like, so many people are in SF just for the tech and they don't really care about the nature. And it's a little bit frustrating. It's the same thing with Japan. There's so many people, they're like, I'm just going to Japan for the culture, which is a whole nother debate. Like, whatever. I think a lot of people who go to Japan for the culture are a little bit confused in what they mean by the culture. Like, Japan doesn't revolve around ikigai. It revolves around, like, social hierarchies and hard work and whatever. It's
yeah.
not like the happy-go-lucky sunshine and rainbows philosophies that people like associate with Japan. I don't think are extremely representative of Japanese philosophy in the modern day. But it's a whole nother
The
thing.
countryside
But
is so chill though. People are there are
right,
so chill.
exactly, so chill, so chill. But it's like people are going to just to see Tokyo and Kyoto and Osaka, and it's like, bro, you got to go to the mountains and the countryside. Like the people are nice, and the mountains there are so beautiful. The nature in Japan is so
For
beautiful,
real.
and
Yeah.
people just like don't go to see it. Like you go and you stay in the urban cityscape, and it's like, I don't know. I find that sad.
I do understand not wanting to hike your whole trip. Hiking is tiring. It's not like
Right. I think some
you
of
know.
both is totally great. And like when I was in Japan, I did some of both. And I'm glad that I did. And I agree, like Japan is interesting culturally and the city is interesting and it was cool to be in Tokyo and whatever, and see shrines and temples in Kyoto and whatever, like that was all great. But I just feel like the nature side of Japan is so neglected.
Yeah, did I tell you I went up Yote?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that was tough. It was tough.
That's super
I
tough.
was yeah, I wasn't really expecting to do it, but we did do that.
That's fire. No, I mean, Japan's really cool. I mean, I'm a really big green enjoyer. I
Mm,
like when things are very green. So that's
mm.
like part of my problem with California is that it's often dead. And even sometimes like European mountains, like the Alps in Europe, are almost too alpine. So then you get like super rocky things. And like I think the Dolomites, for example, look super cool, but they're just
Yeah.
like rock faces. And so like when you're hiking in the Dolomites, it's just rock. You're just hiking on rock for the most part, which is once again cool and different. But like I like green, and Japan in many areas is almost like jungly. It's that green and lively, and I just like that feeling of being surrounded by plant life and animal life, and being really in nature and one with nature. And so I think that that's what Japan's strong suit is in terms of their nature. That it's just there's so much life, really.
Dude, we gotta go to Taiwan, bro.
Oh yeah, I really want to go to Taiwan.
Dude,
Taiwan's
there's a
crazy.
there's this there's this one trail. It's like an 100-mile point to point. And it
Oh my
looks
gosh, that's
crazy.
so fire.
Because they have so many like high altitude traverses
Right,
because so much of the peaks are so dense at 3,000.
right.
It's just, dude, it's
No, it's
just
perfect. That's exactly what
it's
I
so
love.
nice.
And that's the other thing. Like, you know, I if I can, I literally want to make a life out of being in the mountains. And but with that said, I'm not as interested in being in like the super high alpine areas for the same reason. Like, Everest and uh, Manaslu and
Mm,
Annapurna and all those things are like they're cool, but it's almost like you're just chasing the number, which to me is not as appealing as chasing like a cool experience. I don't know. It is a cool experience. It's a little confused. It's a little hard to articulate, but it's like a lot of these places, it might not even be that prominent of a mountain. So like visually, it doesn't even look that big, or it's literally just snow. You're just looking at snow, and like the accomplishment is cool, but it's just like to me, I want to be something that's very like visually stimulating and lively, like I said, and green. Like those are the things that I like, and so those are the mountains that I want to like make a life out of spending my time in if I can.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a really interesting life, and it can't. It doesn't. I mean, not that it ends once you're older, but realistically, it's much easier of a life to have as young as you, like, as young as possible, basically.
Right, 100%.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's not going to be fun 40 and the mountains all the time,
right.
you know,
Exactly. It's a thing to
especially if you have a
do
family.
when
There's
you're
that one
young.
guy, right? He quit
Yeah,
because
he quit. He quit.
quit, um, which
Yeah, you could.
understandably
Right,
he wants to be with his.
you can only do it so long, and
Yeah.
so I'm young and I'm like really captivated by nature and the mountains, and so that's just where I want to be when I'm young, and I want to optimize things to spend my time there.
No, definitely, yeah. Well, with that being said, we've talked about cities, mainly cities, but we've also talked about nature now, and I think that is the end of the episode.
Full circle for our episode.
Full
Back to
circle
nature,
for the
as all
episode.
things should.
Always back to nature. Next time we'll be talking about something else. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Anyway, see you guys later. We're back, by the way. This
so
for real,
back.
for real, for real, for real. All right.